I know this is the third video in a row about AJ Lee, but honestly, this is something I needed to get off my chest. And, look, as much as I am excited for her comeback, and look, I'm not trying to be all like, oh my god, I'm so excited to now, oh wait, now I'm not all that excited. I am still excited for the return of AJ, but I've realized a pattern here that WWE does, and I feel like it needs to really stop. A pattern that I've been noticing they do quite a lot is spoil returns and big comebacks. They do it quite a lot for the women's division. Like, I remember they did it with Nikki Bella this year. When she was planning on making her comeback, they just straight up reveal, hey, Nikki Bella's coming back, you know. But when it was Brock Lesnar, they didn't say a word. They didn't say a word about Brock Lesnar coming back. And think about it with Mariah May. Like, they spoiled she was coming in to NXT, but when Ricky Starks and Ethan Page debuted on NXT, there was no shock. There was no surprise. There was no spoiler that they were going to be there. So, like, I think what I'm trying to say is that WWE seem to have this big habit of leaking returns for the females, but when it comes to the male wrestlers, they just keep it quiet. Let's use Trish Stratus as an example. Like, when Trish Stratus came back for the Elimination Chamber, they would just flat out leak she was going to be on the show because they were in Toronto this year. And then Evolution 2, they just straight up leaked she was going to be at the show. Announced, hey, Trish Stratus is going to be here. Same thing, they did the same thing with Nikki Bella. So basically, what I'm trying to say is that they always leak and spoil the comebacks for all the females, but they don't do the same for the men. They don't do it for Brock Lesnar. They didn't do it for Brock Lesnar when he came back. I mean, hell, they didn't even do it for CM Punk when he came back. They didn't even do it for Cody Rhodes. They literally did not give away that Punk and Rhodes were coming back. So why do the women always get it? Why do the women always get the whole, hey, we're going to be leaking their returns? Now, the reason why I am mentioning this is because all over freaking social media, like Twitter and Instagram, all I keep seeing is that AJ Lee, is that they're leaking AJ Lee potentially coming back at the Royal Rumble. Now, not Royal Rumble, SmackDown on Saturday, this coming Saturday. You can tell when you can tell that I've just woken up. And I know, me recording another video when I've just woken up. But, it is what it is. But, yeah, like, they've just leaked AJ's comeback. As if, like, they're not hiding it. Like, they're not hiding her comeback. Like, this woman has been gone from the company for 10 years. 10 years. This girl has been gone from the company for 10 years at this point, and you're just going to just flat out tell the audience that she's going to be there? Like, I miss the days when you didn't know what was going to happen. That's why when Brock Lesnar came back, I was genuinely surprised because I didn't know he was there. That's why when CM Punk came back, I was genuinely surprised because I didn't know he was coming back. The only male wrestler I think, well, they definitely leaked Randy Orton's comeback when he was out of injury. But I think that's a bit... But honestly, that's different. It's not like Randy was gone from the company. It's not like Randy Orton was gone from the company and then he came back. He was basically injured for like over a year. So I think that's fine because he still works there. Like, if he was gone... Like, if he was, like, gone from the company and then he finally re-emerged, then for the first time in several years or so, then maybe I would have been a bit upset if they leaked his return. But because he was out injured, I think that one was a bit more fairer. But I don't know, man. I'm just not a fan of WWE just leaking and ruining all these comebacks, especially for the women. Like, I remember when Asuka, I remember when she made her return, I think they leaked her comeback. I think they leaked Kairi's comeback as well. Like, they just spoil. I think they just always spoil the women's stuff. They always spoil what's going on with the women. It kind of makes me feel like they genuinely don't care about the women, and they genuinely do not think they're draws. Like, this is AJ Lee. Someone who's been gone for 10 years, and you're just gonna leak it to the world that she's gonna be there? I don't know. That's a little sus. That's a little sus, if you ask me. Like, I think that's just a terrible, terrible idea. Just feel like, hey guys, the person you've been waiting for to see back for 10 years, yeah, we're just gonna leak her comeback. Like, all these reports saying, oh, she signed a new contract, it's not gonna be a one-shot deal, and all that other stuff. Like, as much as I am excited for AJ Lee's potential comeback, because again, this is something I have been waiting for a long time. And look, and I know and I've heard a lot of different opinions from a friend of mine, and I respect his opinions, but a part of me just can't help be excited for AJ's comeback and see, like, her wrestle the likes of Rhea Ripley, Roxanne, Asuka, Kairi, Charlotte, There's like there's like new fresh names for her to wrestle with, and unfortunately Becky's gonna be the first one she's gonna go up against. Now, why did I say unfortunately? Is because, well, I just don't think this is a good way to bring AJ back. I think there are definitely more ways they could have brought AJ back into the company instead of just having her involved in this whole feud with the Vision. But there's a lot of people just saying it all makes sense and all that stuff. It makes perfect sense to bring AJ back this way. I don't think so. I genuinely don't think so. Like, Becky gets all the legends, but, well, that's what fans claim. I saw a post where fans claiming that Becky gets all the legends, like Trish and Lita, Nikki Bella and all that stuff, and I'm just like, no, Charlotte got Trish. Did people forget that Charlotte wrestled Trish at SummerSlam? I forgot what year it was. I think it was 2019. Tiffany Stratton got Trish, so it's not always Becky. So, and let's not forget, Nikki Bella's first opponent on Raw television was Chelsea Green, not Becky Lynch. I think people forget that Nikki Bella's return match was against Chelsea Green, of all people, and not Becky Lynch. So it's technically not always Becky. If they are there, and all that. So, but I guess I can get where people are coming from when it comes to that statement. But who would you want AJ Lee as her first opponent against? So that's what I'm going to ask you. If you didn't want it to be Becky Lynch, who would you want AJ's first opponent to be against? But in my opinion, it's always Chelsea Green. Oh, excuse me. Got a bit of a sore throat here, guys, so my apologies. Got a bit of a cough going on. So, like, to me, it's always Chelsea Green, because I've noticed Chelsea Green wrestles a lot of people. Like, she was the first person to fight Julia. Like I said before, she was the first person to fight Nikki. Like, I feel like Chelsea Green is usually the first person that gets fed to either a new signing or a returning talent. So, to me, it's not always Becky, it's always Chelsea. So you're trying to tell me you'd prefer Chelsea to be the first person for AJ to fight instead of Becky Lynch? I'm sorry, I'd rather pass on that. But, yeah, I'm just going to say that I'm not a fan of this whole thing being leaked. If this ends up being true, I'm not a fan of it being leaked. And the biggest problem is, and I said this in my previous video, if they don't deliver on AJ, the person that ends up being Punk's partner, if it's not AJ, they're going to get booed. They're going to get booed out of the building. Fans are going to be absolutely furious. Because it's either AJ or the bloody town ends up rioting. It's either it's AJ or everyone starts to riot. Like, do you think that's probably why they leaked her comeback? Just so everyone can be all like, don't worry, we're not going to swerve you. It's definitely going to be her. But again, it's AJ freaking Lee. It's freaking AJ. You do not leak someone like her return, when she's been gone for 10 years. You just don't. To me, that's a major red flag. That you would just straight up spoil her comeback. And I think that's the thing that annoys me the most. I would have looked forward to tuning in on SmackDown without even knowing if she was going to be there or not. But now that I know she might be there, the impact of her return to me is not going to be as strong because, oh, I got told by all the sources on the internet that she was definitely going to be there. Now, some of you may just say, well, Patrick, maybe you shouldn't just go, maybe you should just stay off the internet. Well, here's my question to all of you. How many of you stay off the internet? How many of you actually stay off the internet to avoid spoilers? Tell me. How many of you actually try to avoid spoilers by staying off of social media? Social media is a cesspool. It's a cesspool. Everyone goes there. You get people complaining about stuff like this, and yeah, your immediate response would be, yeah, just stay off Twitter so you wouldn't know. But then my response would be, yeah, how often do you stay off social media to avoid stuff? People don't stay off social media. So, as much as that advice would work, it's just not going to happen because again, fans would rather know, because again, people just live on social media. So, yeah, I'm a little disappointed. I'm a little bummed that if AJ's return got leaked, I'm going to be very, very, very disappointed, and Triple H should be ashamed of himself, like, for leaking someone's return that's happening in 10 years. Now, some of you may be saying, well, how is that Triple H's fault? Like, you should be blaming Dave Meltzer and Brian Alvarez and all the people that are leaking her comeback. It genuinely feels like Triple H is sending the information to them. Like, Triple H is all about the shock value, the big moment, the big pop. He doesn't... And I believe I said that before in my other video, where I said that Triple H is all about the pop, the ratings, the reaction. He doesn't care about the in-ring work. So, while I am excited for AJ's potential comeback, I just hate that if it did get leaked and it did get spoiled, I'm going to be greatly disappointed, because someone like her, if you're going to bring someone like AJ Lee back, her return should be kept hidden and secretive. You should not just be leaking it and spoiling it for the entire world. But anyway, that's my video, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed. See you all next time.